Look at this glass of water. Nothing fancy, just ordinary water. But here's the surprising part. The water in this glass is older than human civilization. It is older than pyramids. It is older than dinosaurs. Every sip you take contains molecules that travel this planet for billions of years through oceans and clouds, rivers and glaciers, forests and animals, and humans. This water has been everywhere, and it has been everything. It is an ultimate time traveler. And yet, despite all this history, despite all this abundance, there is a contradiction in the center of the modern world. In 2026, more than 2 billion people do not have access to safe drinking water. The planet did not run out of water. So what went wrong? My relationship with water started long before I ever worked in technology. I grew up in Ukraine. My father spent his entire career designing water infrastructure, pipes, pumps, treatment systems, the kind of systems that we never notice until they fail. That early exposure stayed with me. Over time, curiosity turned into fascination. Fascination not with water as substance, but with water as a system. The system that sits at the intersection of the engineering, society, and survival. That realization shaped everything that followed. There's a core truth that we rarely say out loud. The world does not have a water shortage problem. It has an infrastructure problem. Water is abundant. Rivers, oceans, rainfalls. What is not abundant is systems required to move it, store it, and treat it reliably. And those systems are not universal. They're not equally distributed. They're expensive, slow, and difficult to build. The infrastructure requires something far harder than water. It requires sustained investment, engineering depth, and expertise that it takes decades to develop. That's a real gap. I saw this reality clearly in 1990s when I was a student at the Technion in Israel. At that time, water scarcity was not a theoretical concern. It was a national crisis. The Sea of Galilee, the primary surface water reservoir, was repeatedly dropping to the dangerously low levels. The underground water was deteriorating due to rising salinity. Agriculture was under pressure. Industrial growth was constrained. And there was a very real question asked across the country. Can Israel continue growing like this? What happened next was not inevitable. The country made a deliberate long-term decision to treat water as a strategic system, not as natural limitation. In early 2000s, Israel has invested in a large-scale seawater desalination. Within less than 30 years, the country built some of the most advanced desalination facilities in the world. Today, desalination supplies majority of the country drinking water. The population has more than doubled. Advanced agriculture and high-tech industry continue to grow. And for the first time anywhere, desalinated water was supplied back into the Sea of Galilee to stabilize water levels. Israel moved from chronic scarcity to engineered water security. I witnessed that transformation firsthand, and it taught me a lesson. Water scarcity is not destiny. It's a system problem, and systems can be redesigned. Israel is not alone. Singapore followed the same path, but those examples are still rare. That raises a harder question. If this is possible, why has it not happened everywhere? Because infrastructure is difficult in ways other innovation is not. Water systems are slow. They are capital intensive, and they're regulated for a good reason. You cannot experiment freely where the public health is at stake. And water's utility has been historically under-resourced. It doesn't attract talent in the way other fast-moving industries do. Many highly educated engineers leave their field long before they reach their peak. The result is not a failure of nature. It's a failure of system. Systems that did not evolve at the pace of the world around them. This is where the story takes an unexpected turn. What if the industry best positioned to accelerate innovation in water globally is not a utility, it's not a government, and it's not an environmental organization? What if it is one of the most demanding, fast-moving, and capital-intensive industries on Earth, the semiconductor industry? Yes, the same industry that makes chips in your computer and your phones. The semiconductor manufacturing demands water at the extreme scale. The advanced semiconductor facility can use as much water as the city of 1 million people. In some cases, as twice as the population of the city of Dresden. And this water is not ordinary. It must be treated to the highest level of purity humans know how to achieve. Ultra-pure water, clean to parts per quadrillion, which is 1 billion times cleaner than what we drink. In order to survive, this industry learn how to manage water. Water systems are expensive. They are difficult to build. And this infrastructure is highly complex. To survive, semiconductor manufacturing has been forced to reinvent the way how it uses water. Linear systems no longer work. Water in, water out is gone. The systems, facilities operate as tightly coupled circular ecosystems. Water reused, recycled, and reduced continuously. Efficiency is no longer optional. Predictability is everything. And with circularity comes fragility. When one system fails, the impact ripples across the entire factory. As one facility director told me, if you're reactive in this industry, you're already losing. So the factories have to turn to the most advanced solutions to deal with this complexity. Continuous data, smart sensors, digital twins, artificial intelligence, and robotics. As a result, the most advanced water systems on Earth are built inside of semiconductor factory. Here's the breakthrough inside. If you can solve this problem in this level of scale, complexity, and reliability, you can solve it anywhere. Municipal systems, industrial facilities, agriculture, remote communities. As a result, semiconductor manufacturing became an unintended platform of innovation in water technology. In the past 27 years, I worked in this ecosystem focused on water. I started in leading semiconductor company, developing water solutions and supporting operations. I later moved to help to design advanced manufacturing facilities. Worked in the laboratory and advised organizations across industries and regions. This journey gave me a system view. I saw that semiconductor manufacturing requires an extraordinary level of sophistication in water, not as the environmental aspiration, but as a condition for survival. And I saw that the technologies developed to meet those demands are far more powerful than the industry alone requires. That realization shaped my personal mission. 9 years ago, I changed my direction of work and focused on one question: how can we accelerate innovation in water where the challenges are the hardest? Manufacturing computer chips requires extraordinary level of control over water. The systems are so complex that engineers had to create the software to model and optimize the entire water infrastructure of the semiconductor facility. What started as the way to solve problems in semiconductor industry turned into something much bigger. Now the same tools are used in other industries to reduce water consumption, and the same tools are used by water technology companies to bring their innovation to the market faster. Now let us come back to this water, the time traveler. It moves through oceans and clouds, rivers and glaciers, plants, animals, and ancient humans. It knows how to circulate. It knows how to survive. It knows how to return. What it needs now is not a discovery. It needs systems. We live in extraordinary times when technology advances faster than before. If we choose to use technological progress not only to build smart devices, but also to build smart infrastructure, then the next time the child reaches to the glass of water, they will not wait. They will trust. They will know. It will always flow.